Golden State versus the Los Angeles Lakers, game 1 and 2 review. Now, both games were very entertaining. However, game one, the referees imposed their will just a little too much to my liking. And I had tweeted out and said, I hope JJ Redick and Stephen A. Smith ready to go off. But then JJ Redick was like, he don't think the referees made bad calls, which was not necessarily true. Because every D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron is a biggest flopper, I should say. Dennis Schroeder is who I'm looking for. All of them, they like to flop, and they were calling so many fouls for them that even Steph was like, "Well, can I get Dennis Schroeder's foul call?" Because to me, it baffles me as well as all of the Dub Nation fans. It baffles us to hear and to see the constant disrespect to Stephen Curry. He's a superstar, a face of this, one of the face of these of the NBA, and for him to not receive the proper call that he deserves is crazy. That Austin Reeves and Dennis Schroeder, or Schroeder, whatever, however you pronounce his name, gets a better whistle than he does. It's insane. It's stupid. Adam Silver needs to fix that. I'm not saying to get. So here's the thing for me as a Golden State Steph. Well, first of all, Stephen Curry fan, because let's be clear. Number one, I'm a Steph fan. Then I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Being a fan, it just like we just want it to be fair. Like let it just be fair. Call a fair game. If you miss calls on both sides, granted, let it be fair. Don't obviously call bad fouls. For an example, the end of the game. I don't know, did we lose by 5 or by 3? I can't remember, but however, it was a close game. Let's say that in game one. However, there were a couple of fouls that should have been called, and the one that, well, two, there should have been a technical on Darren Ham, Coach Ham, because he was on the court and had his hand up as if he was gonna block JP's shot that would have ultimately tied the game. So to me, that was a huge missed call. And then two, I think it was Dennis Schroeder and Klay. It should have been called a jump ball, but they called a timeout, which you can't call a timeout if Dennis Schroeder and Klay Thompson has his hand on the ball. That is a jump ball. So I'm not going to say that the refs cost us that game. They contribute to the loss, but Golden State also did not play like the Golden State Warriors. Now, for full 48 minutes, I should say, because granted, Steph was going through the motion and then he kicked in at the fourth quarter. He kicked in gear in the fourth quarter, but by that time it was just a little too late because the refs were just, yeah. Draymond Green didn't show up that much in game one either, and Jordan Poole played decent. I'm gonna avoid talking about him for game two because yeah. Anywho, so I know a lot of people are slandering Dante DiVincenzo's name, like, oh, he's bad, blah blah blah. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he hustles. Uh, Granted, in the Sacramento series, he could have been better, wasn't quite, but it's okay. Everybody has their moments where they don't do so well. It's okay. Steph showed up, Draymond showed up when he needed to, Wiggins showed up, Kevon Looney always show up. It's very rare that Kevon does not show up. So game one was very entertaining, minus the referee interferences that just was blatant. Like, come on. Like, the game was entertaining. We did not need the referees to interfere. Like, call a fair game. Let the best team win. Like, I don't understand why they needed to interfere and miss a lot of huge calls. To me, that just did not make any sense because the game was very entertaining, very it lived up to the hype that we all expected. And game two was amazing, probably because we definitely called out and showed evidence of how the referees screwed the Warriors over to a degree in game one. So in game two, of course, it was a little bit better, not flawless. We don't expect any game to be flawless. However, it was very entertaining. It was a blowout. Golden State mollywopped the Lakers in game two. Let's just say that. And I loved every minute of it. And the calls were fair. Picture that. The calls were fair, and Golden State mollywopped the Lakers. So, yes, Draymond showed up. I like spicy Carrie and aggressive Draymond. I like it. I like the feistiness in both of them. And Klay was talking his talk. I was like, you better talk your talk, Klay. Talk your talk. Four-time champion. 60 points in a game. Three quarters, I should say. 37 points in a quarter. Talk your talk, man. I'm so super excited for Klay. He has overcame two quote unquote supposed to be life ending, well, not life ending, I'm sorry, career ending, not life ending. We don't want to speak that open. Career ending injuries, and he has come back. First year back, well, half a year because he came back half of last year, half of year, half of season, won a championship, contribute to winning a championship, and he is playing lights out basketball. That man was on a heater. I was here for it. I was loving it. I was appreciating it because, again, the things that he went through, he talks about the dark days, thinking that sometimes feeling like life wasn't fair and he's not used to being hurt. Before, I think Looney, we used to call Klay Iron Man because anytime I remember J.R. Smith, I think it was in 2017 or 2018, the finals, he landed on Klay's leg or something like that, or ankles or something. I can't remember. It was one of them games. He landed on Klay Thompson, and I was like, oh my God, we do not need Klay hurt. But Klay came back out ready to go, and he played the rest of that finals, and they won. So yeah, we we love Klay. Dub Nation, we love Klay. Klay is our dude. We ride for him. Even though some people, I don't know if we can really call them fans. They slander his name just like they doing JP. Even though JP, I kind of understand JP slander because his attitude in game one, um, in game two, some of the things he did, especially game two and game six or seven of the Sacramento Kings, his attitude was a little. Yeah, just gonna say that. So, but GP2 showed up. Dante showed up in game two. Andrew Wiggins doing his thing. Man, when I tell you, I was super excited to see the dunks going on. I believe it was GP2 had got a dunk in game two. I think Andrew Wiggins had a dunk in game two. And you know who the shining star was for game two for me? Outside of Klay, okay? Klay was the shining star. He was the one that the Splash Brothers, Klay shooting lights out, Steph playmaking, Steph on the ball, being a true point guard, guard, not God, guard. I don't call nobody God but God. Guard. He was a true point guard in game two. Jermichael Green came in, shot his shots, was aggressive, was attacking, was defending. I like to see it. I was extremely happy for him getting minutes. I was definitely tweeting out like, hey, get JK in there. I want to see a couple of dunks. Wiggins guarding LeBron. And my favorite moment of this game was Moses Moody, Mr. Stay Ready. That man came out. He did his thing in the Sacramento Kings series, but he got a three over LeBron. He dunked over LeBron. No, I'm sorry, he did not dunk over LeBron. He got a dunk going past LeBron, I should say. But yes, Moses Moody, I am super excited for him. I cannot wait to continue to watch him and watch him grow, watch him become a superstar or a star, whatever he put his mind to be. I know he gonna be whatever it is that he wants to be. He has the work ethics. You hear Andre Iguodala, Iggy, aka Iggy. You hear Draymond Green, Steph, all of them speak highly of Moses Moody and how they he stay ready. He's an old soul. I love that about hearing those things about him. And to see him shine in game two, I loved every minute of it. He hustles. That's one thing I like about him. GP2 and Dante have in common. They hustle. They are hustle players. I love every minute of it. They hustle to get the 50-50 ball. They hustle to get rebounds. They hustle. When they locked in, they hustle, they defend. He's gonna be Moses Moody is definitely gonna be a 3 and D guy. And you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Klay Thompson a little bit. I feel like Moses Moody reminds me of Klay Thompson. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about his shooting form and all of that, but just the defensive awareness that he has and the effort that he puts in on the defensive end and the offense end. I like Moses Moody for Golden State. I hope they do not trade him or anything like that. I like his attitude. You don't hear too much about him having bad attitude and feeling um, any type of way or complaining about his playing time. He lock in. He I like his attitude. I've heard so many great things. I listened to a lot of their interviews, and you hear how even when he wasn't playing in a regular season, he said to I don't remember who he said this to. I think Monte Poole talked about this on the Dubs Talk podcast, I believe it was. If he did, I'm sorry. I think that's who I heard this from. But he talks about how Moses Moody, when he wasn't playing in the regular season, how he's okay with it. He's going to lock in, do what he need to do. He's going to keep practicing, stay ready so that when he develops himself so that when his name is called by Steve Kerr and Steph and Draymond and so forth and on, then he's ready to go. He's locked in. That's the purpose. That is the reason why he came to the NBA instead of going to development college. So I'm super excited for him, and I hope that he have a great game in Game 3 tonight, which happens in less than an hour, I believe. I'm super excited, super looking forward to seeing him. Klay, Draymond, aggressive Draymond. We want aggressive Draymond. We want feisty Carey. We want locked in Klay. I want to see a motivated Andrew Wiggins to dominate, get to the basket. I want to see more dunks. I was super excited to see the dunks in Game 2. Yes, Klay and Steph was lighting them up beyond the 3 point line. However, well, more so Klay than Steph. Steph hit a couple threes, but it was the dunks that got me excited. Moses Moody dunk. And there is a picture that's going around that I saw of him. Whoever took the picture is beautiful. I love it. It's the picture where Moody was on the baseline and Steph was inbounding the ball, and LeBron had his back to Moody, and Steph threw the ball right to Moody, and Moody ran right past LeBron and dunked the ball, and it was beautiful. I loved every minute of it. That is probably my favorite, one of my favorite plays of the game. But yes, I'm looking forward to Game 3 tonight. Hope the Warriors come out aggressive, small ball lineup, which seems to work in favor of the Warriors to win this series. So Jim Michael, so proud, so happy that he found his rhythm, that he is locked in, and he was motivated. Motivated. I'm super excited for that. So come on, go Warriors for Game 3. Go Warriors.